And hello, good people of the internet. It is that guy once again off the internet, that fella who does be on all the internets, Tommy Kelly, coming to you in the podcast. A bit later this week because I just got caught up with other stuff. Doing the daily vlog and working on the audio meditation for the 40 Shadows. I just took all of my time this week and I got late, but I got there in the end. In case you didn't know, basically the idea with the podcast is it's unedited and I just yap and talk for whatever 20 minutes. And it's just started as a means for me to become better at talking. So while the vlog is highly edited and the blog itself, whenever I manage to write something, I spend a lot of time. This is a more off the cuff kind of arrangement. So it has a bit more rough and ready feel, I would say, to it. So this sounds like I'm making an excuse that this is going to be a mess, but I don't mean that at all. I just thought I should mention that I just don't edit it because one of the main reasons, other than my purpose for it, is that I was spending 3 or 4 times the amount of time I was recording this, editing it. So basically, if it was a 20-minute podcast, I spend an hour editing it. And no, I don't want to do that. And I was basically just taking out ums and ahs and stuff like that. But that's how I speak. And there you go. Take it or leave it. Anyway, or anywho's, in this episode, I'm going to be talking a bit about health magic, beauty magic, glamour magic, fitness magic, all of those kind of things. So yeah, let's get to it. So recently, as I'd say most of you know who are listening to this, but maybe not, I have been on a kind of a real health kind of buzz since Christmas. Well, since the 2nd of January, I went on this diet and exercise program because at that point it just had got ridiculous out of hand, my diet and exercise. I had been more or less on a diet my entire adult life, but really in the last couple of years, I've been constantly on some sort of fad diet and it was just making a mess of me. I did the high protein, high fat, low carb diet and put on a ton of weight. I did Slimming World, didn't lose any weight. I actually did the cabbage diets once and put on weight. So that's not even physically possible, but there you go. And all these things, I was just doing all this messing. And I put on a lot of weight. I also quit smoking 3 years ago, and that probably has to be a factor in it too. But I often forget that. So anyway, I got up to about 18 stone. Offhand, I don't know what that is in pounds. It's 14 pounds in a stone, so multiply 18 by 14 and you'll get it. And so yeah, I really said, right, what I'm going to do is going to do some yoga, I'm going to do all, healthy eating and whatever. And it basically came down to I was just going to count calories because the only time I've ever actually lost weight is when I was counting calories. And it turns out I started losing weight fairly quickly from counting calories. Now, I've had many discussions with people who say that calories don't exist or it's a bad system or all these things. But it's the best thing we have. And apart from all that, it's the only thing that works. So even if it's bullshit, it works for me. And as a good chaos magic or as a good chaos magician, that's all I'm interested in. I'm not that interested in whether calorie is a true or not representation of actual energy consumption. So yeah, cutting it up to now, I've lost over 40 pounds. I'm running 5Ks most days. I'm out my bike doing 10, 12K. I feel good. I'm an awful lot more healthy. My skin's so much better. I feel so much better. My body's so much better. I'm eating so much better. All of these things. Now, I still have a bit to go. I have about 28 pounds that I want to, another 28 pounds I want to get rid of. I want to get down to 13 stone. Which is 82.5 kgs. Not sure what that is in pounds, just 13 by 14. I didn't learn that times table at school. So when I say all of these things that I'm going to talk about here, it's mostly things that I did. I hate when people come from the point of view of saying, this is the only way, this is what you have to do. And I've talked about that a bit in the vlog where I've talked about that just talk to people about your experiences rather than demanding that your truth should be the universal truth. So many different things work for different people that it seems like there's no universal truth on how to lose weight, get healthy, whatever, and it's all, personal. So the first thing I want to suggest from, if you want to get fit, you want to get healthy, you want to feel better about yourself, you want to become more attractive, all of these things, is rather than listening to say, rather than, going with the new fad diet, whatever, try different things for a while, like all magic. Try something, see if it works, take notes. If it works, keep with it. If it doesn't, drop it or augment it or change it and move on to something else. So try things like fasting. Try the 8-hour window thing, which is where you basically, you eat for 8 hours a day and you don't eat for the other 16 hours a day. Didn't do anything for me whatsoever, but it has worked for an awful lot of people. So that's every day you eat, just between 8 hours. Now, the thing why it didn't work for me is because I ate probably the same amount of calories in those 8 hours, as I would have in the 24 hours. So what use is that? You're just putting off, the inevitable amount of calories. Really think the idea of the 8-hour window is that you skip a meal, and so then you lose weight practically because you eat one meal less, a day, and overall you're going to lose things. So I'm not sure that the actual 8-hour window thing is working there, or whether it's just you're eating less calories. But try it and find out, or try it and see for yourself. The other one is you can eat for 2 24-hour periods. You don't eat anything. So say 8 o'clock on Monday morning, you don't eat again until 8 o'clock Tuesday morning, or do it at 2 o'clock in the day. And the advantage of that is that there's no day where you're not actually eating, and you are, still fasting for 24 hours and getting the benefits of fasting or whatever. I've done a number of 36-hour fasts, which is just you don't eat anything for 36 hours. People have talked to me about water fast, where you don't do anything at all with no water, whatever. Fasting, other than making me feel that I was, some sort of saint and, a really enormously great person for not eating, didn't do anything for me, really. I certainly didn't get any of these kind of insights or spiritual insights or magical insights or any of these things that some people talk about. 36-hour, 24-hour, they're okay. It's the last couple of hours that make it really hard. I overall didn't get an awful lot from fasting, but loads of people do. So check that out. There's loads of books, websites, YouTube videos that you can see. Same with all the other various diets, like the high protein, the low carb, the low fat, no sugar, all of those things. I've tried all of them, and it's still a case of I've probably just eaten too much rather than actually, you can eat whatever you want once it's high protein. Like there's Atkin things, eat a block of cheese and all that. I can't eat a block of cheese. Maybe you can, so check out all of these things and do them for like 2 weeks and see how they work. See how to go. Is there something that you would be able to sustain for a long time? And also, will it be something that you want to sustain for a long time? Like, can you see yourself for 6 months just eating blocks of cheese or whatever your diet is, or, bananas or whatever it is? So once you find something that works and you can sustain, and that you think you'll be able to go, and you feel that you will be able to kind of wean off at the end once you lose whatever weight you want to lose, or once you get onto, the whatever your goal is, or whatever, then just stick with it and go for it, and stop trying to, change it every week or whatever. Now get into consistency once you've found what works for you. So the other big thing I want to bring in at this point is, and I've talked about this in the vlog recently as well, is that when you go to look for people for advice or for suggestions or whatever, check out, particularly when it comes to health advice, check out what they look like. Check out how well they look and see, is that what you want to look at? Like, there's no point in following someone's advice who's massively overweight, who's terrible skin, and, just has, really greasy hair or whatever it is. That's not to say that they're a bad person ever. Just they're not, their advice on, or what they do on diet and health and exercise, in my opinion, is not worth listening to, because one, they're not doing it themselves, so how do they know if it's working or not? Or two, they are doing it and it plainly doesn't work. It's like, Don't take diet advice from fat guys. Don't take how to stop smoking from advice from smokers. Don't take jogging advice from people who sit on on the couch or don't get up all day. Look to the people who are getting the results you actually want. Find out what they're doing and see if that works for you. Try it out, whatever. But just be careful of who you're taking advice from. And the opposite thing of that is don't read magazines. Don't read health magazines. Don't listen to what the stars are telling you, or the famous people who have died, because that's all linked into selling you stuff. And all like the weightlifting magazines, they're all on steroids. They're all not just going to the gym for an hour a day and getting pumped up. So unless you're into that, wanting to do the steroids thing and all that, just stay away from all those magazines and those ads. They're just basically brochures for supplement selling or whatever. Same for the celebrity magazines and celebrity diets and all that. For me, it came down to calorie counting, and which basically translates into put less into my mouth, with the hope of the stuff I do put in my mouth is better quality and better for me, more healthy. Turns out a lot of the healthier stuff actually is low in calories, so you eat more of that. I mean, you can eat so much salad, it's ridiculous, but you can have one slice of pizza. So there's an advantage in counting calories, and it makes you eat a wee bit healthier. Not a wee bit, a good bit healthier. Made me eat a lot healthier. Hold on, I'm just looking at my notes here. Right, so now some more that's kind of practical advice. There's some magical advice. And I would say sigil your goals, but chunk them down. Recently, I wanted to run 5K in under 30 minutes. And I did a sigil first, which literally said 5K in under 30 minutes. And within a week, I was able to do that. I had been doing it up to like about 36 and a half minutes till that point. And then I got it down to 29 minutes and then 28 something. I can't remember offhand. So sigils, whatever you make of them, or whether they're, magic or just focus of your intention, seem to work. My statistic is about 6 times out of 10. So get your sigils out and start getting, your goals in place, and, sigils for your goals. So if you want to lose 40 pounds, don't go, I will lose 40 pounds. Start with, I will lose 5 pounds. And then, do 10 pound or whatever, and get a realistic aim. Because if you're waiting for 40 pounds, that's a long way to go before, you get a result. And it can be hard to keep kind of, not interest, but keep up and keep enthusiastic about the whole thing. So if you aim for shorter, more gettable goals, 5 pound, 10 pound, I will run for 10 minutes, as well as like things that I will, fit into these trousers, that my t-shirts will fit me. These kind of, realistic, good aims that you can sigil for. I found that really, really helpful. So I would try for that as well. You can also, sigil for people saying, you're looking attractive, you've lost weight, you've done, what have you done, or is that new clothes? All these things that, will boost your confidence and those kind of things. So that's important. Again, you can also do sigils for the overall goal as well, but just make sure you chunk down and have like a couple of other sigils that are for more immediate, quicker, more, not realistic, more, you're easier to get to these goals. The quicker to get, you'll get the enthusiasm increased as your sigils come true. The other thing, and I've spoken about this before, is kind of invoking, or in an NLP sense, modeling certain energies. When I was about 17 or 18, when I was at school, and I was first trying to lose weight and, become more attractive and just become, I don't know, not the greaseball teenager that, no one had any interest in whatsoever physically. One of the things I did, and I found it immensely helpful, was to think about how it would feel to be an attractive person. So the person I had in my head at that time, it was Brad Pitt. And it could have been anyone, but he happened to be popular at the time, still is, and considered very attractive. So I would kind of invoke, in a sense, Brad Pitt, but not really Brad Pitt, but like just what, and kind of to try to feel how he would feel. What would his energy, what would he radiate? How would he feel? What way would he walk? What way would he, approach things? Like rather than coming from me, the way I would do it. So it's kind of like modeling in the NLP sense of that. You try to take the attributes that you like from someone else and, bring them into your own thing. So it's invoking in the sense of that, we would say invoking, like a god or a spirit or an energy, but you're doing it with a focus of someone maybe that's a celebrity, or so. It doesn't have to be a celebrity, because someone that has these traits and qualities that you want. And then you present yourself, in a sense, to other people in that way, just like exuding that kind of energy, that kind of feel. Now, it's not doing an impression of these people. So you're not doing an impression of Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp or whoever is considered good looking and young and hip or whatever these days. It's you're borrowing their energy. You're putting on their clothes, in a sense, their energetic clothes, and going out into the world from that. That works amazingly well for me. So it's worth trying out. It might work for you as well. And not just in looks or whatever, but in confidence is a great one for that, for using that kind of thing. Or if you have to go like something that's into a kind of some sort of intimidating event, or you have to stand up to someone, to kind of invoke an energy of someone who is able to do that, and kind of you're wearing the shield of this energy and you're radiating it outwards. I've talked about this in a number of places before. There's some stuff in the blog about it if you want to check that out as well. I found this super helpful, and I use this an awful lot. Not as much as I should, because I always forget to do it. But this, having this sense of because we're talking about health and attraction and glamour, this is definitely a glamour magic. It's a full-on glamour magic, where you're trying to put a glamour on other people. But the thing that happens out of it, the fake it till you make it, once you understand what this energy is and how it feels, and what it's like, and when people start reacting to it, and like I think I took about 2 weeks of this kind of visualization thing when I was about 17 or 18, and then people like in school and stuff, like people who are normally horrible to you or slag you off or whatever, start saying really nice things to me, like, "Oh wow, you look really well," and I don't know, there's something about you. So that totally convinced me on this. Now, I was also exercising and eating better and all that, but it's part of the bigger package and all that. But I do put a lot of faith and trust in this thing. So check it out. Again, don't do an impression of people. It's borrowing their energy or borrowing their feels, how you think they must feel, and then radiating that out. Okay, so now here's another great one for. It's basically start doing clearing out and get declutter and hoover and dust and clean up your your office table or your desk or your shelves or whatever. And it's the whole thing, as without, as within, as above, so below, all that. But it seems to have a huge impact. Like if you are in a messy kind of area, your mind's messy, and it has an impact, I feel, physically as well. So when I started decluttering the areas I'm in constantly, I found that I was losing weight. I felt lighter. I felt more healthier. I felt less cluttered internally and physically by clearing out the physicality outside me. So that, as without, so within, is huge. And you can, like, Jordan Peterson has loads of talks about this. His whole thing is like clean your room, and his thing is that the very first thing you can do is clean your room. That's an action you can take right now that it will have positive benefits for you. So yeah, definitely do a clear out your house, give away stuff you haven't used. There was a friend of mine years ago who said she never did New Year's resolutions. What she did is she just threw out or give away stuff that she had not used since within that year. And if you haven't used something within that year, give it away, throw it away. I'm not fully buying that. There's plenty of things I want to keep, but it's a good kind of idea. So just go through all your stuff and get it out and get rid of all old negative. If you have clothes that are making you, have associations that are making you feel shit, get rid of it, clear it out, clear as much as you can, give away as much as you can if your stuff is useful, but just clean. And then when you're done, do some banishings, get in there with if it's your thing, your lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, your star rubies, your Hecas Estebabeblios, whatever is your banishing thing, actually physically cleaning is a banishing anyway. If you do it with intent, you can put van oil into your mop water, clean out all that. Spray, put some essential oils and stuff into spray bottle and spray that around your house. Get some Palo Santo. I got a spray bottle of Palo Santo recently. It's quite expensive for what it is, but that, clear out. Same with, burn your sage. Make a huge thing of clearing out. Open every single window and door in your house. Get all the air in. Clean out your car. Do all these things. Massively life-changing stuff. And will have a knock-on effect on your physical body and your health, definitely on your mental space. Now, the last kind of ones are drink loads of water. I mean, that seems, kind of the thing everyone says, but drink loads of water. It's really good for you. I find it easy enough to drink water, but sometimes I'll get like a 0-calorie juice thing that I can put in on top of, like a dilute type thing, just so I can get the amount of water in. It varies in how much you're meant to drink. My mum hates water and just can't do it. She actually, at one time, she used to put the water in front of her in a big jug, knowing that she had to go through that today. And I was going, you can't do that. That's just going to make it like torture and hell. So she couldn't do it. But try and get as much water into you as you can. It's, try to eat as much green vegetables or green leafed salad stuff as you can. They have the highest sun intake and they're just the best for you. They're super low in calories, so you can eat loads of it. I would say probably give up as much sugar as you can. Stopping the caffeine as much as you can. I've kind of had a bit more caffeine recently than I used to have, and I can feel the effects really pronounced these days. But that lower your anxiety, that will lower your stress levels, and lower your stress levels, the lower your cortisol levels are, and the lower you or the less likely you are to to hang on to weight or whatever. And the thing with exercise, when you've started making, you could say recently I've started making goals that I wanted to do the 5K, or I wanted to run every day and all these things. And then it comes to the point where today I'm actually not going to run. I did a 7K walk instead. And the reason I'm not going to run is because I can feel it in my joints and I can feel a lack of energy. And I don't want to exacerbate any kind of thing, because I had a knee injury from the beginning of the year and stuff like that. Now, the important thing is you're going to have days where you don't want to do your exercise, where you don't want to do your diet or whatever. And it's important to know the difference between needing a break and just being lazy. In that, coming up to excuse, I really don't have time to do it this day or whatever. And the way I've battled that is, if I'm not doing the running, I have to do something else. So I'm not getting out of it. So if I'm not doing running, I'm still going out and doing a walk, or I'm going to do a cycle or whatever. Or if I'm going to have a glass of wine or bottle of wine or whatever it is my need of an evening, that is all counted. It's not, I'll just get it in. And one of the things I found is that something I like to eat after I've been drinking or whatever. So leave calories for that, or if you're counting calories. These are all the things I do. But yeah, when it comes down to my thing, what changed it all for me is back in my mind, I already knew what I should be doing. I knew I should be doing yoga every day. I knew I should be meditating every day. I knew I should have been doing visualizations. I knew I should be doing vision boards. I knew I should be running. I knew I should be eating healthy. I knew I should be counting my calories. And I wasn't doing all that. And when I was looking at the other fad diets and stuff like that, I was looking for a way to not really change what I was doing. So I could still eat the same amount as I was doing, only I'd lose weight. And that doesn't exist. You have to, don't want to say you have to. No one has to do it. I had to start counting calories, and then I lost some weight. I lost 40 pounds, so it worked for me. And so magic-wise, I was looking up to see if there was a patron saint of weight loss, and I couldn't find one. So that could be an avenue. I'm sure there's some angle you could get with a patron saint if you wanted to do that. The other thing, magic-wise, you could work with is, of course, the Colonel from the 40 Servants, who's all about self-image, about feeling sexy and about feeling good about yourself in a physical way. So want to check that out, you can go to 40servants.com. I have a video on YouTube about her as well. And yeah, just overall, it's about just doing it and stop, listening to you. Stop listening. It's doing it, listen to yourself in what you know is right. Deep down, I think all of us kind of know what we should be doing, and we know where we're falling down, and we know that we know where our weak spots are, or where the weak spot in the chain is, and just work on them and do that. Do your sigils, do your visualizations, get a vision board in if that kind of thing works for you. Certainly works for me. Find out, get some role models of who you want to look like, or who you want to feel like, or who you find attractive, whatever. And kind of borrow their energy. It's not trying to don't dress up like them, or get your hair cut like them or stuff like that. Unless you want to get your hair cut similar, that's what I'm saying. But you're not doing an impression. You're not trying to turn yourself physically into that. It's just trying to borrow their energy in the way that when you get really, really angry, you embody Aries, or you embody Mars, or if you feel loved or you're surrounded by love, you embody Venus. So you're not trying to be Mars, you're not dressing up as the god Mars, but you're just putting on the energy. And energy is a cookie word, and we're not allowed to use it anymore. I think it works fine. So that's it. Yeah, so that was the usual rambly kind of probably a bit all over the place podcast, but this is the nature of it, and this is what I want to do, to try and make it as kind of, I don't know, try to make it as free-flowing and just let it go. But I'm sure I've missed other stuff, and I'll come back to this again. It's obviously something that is of interest to me. So, yeah. There we go. That's another episode of the Tommy Kelly podcast. This episode actually was suggested by the great and wonderful Kellyanne Maddox on YouTube. So if you have a theme or an idea or something that you would like me to ramble on about for about 20 minutes, then let me know in comments below if you're on YouTube, or on the website, or on Facebook, or any of these places. If you want to know more about what I do, then you can go to adventuresinwoowoo.com, which is my blog and the hub, and everything is there. The podcast is there. The YouTube videos can be got from there. The vlog, the 40 Servants, all that stuff's there. You can go to the40servants.com if you want to know more about the 40 Servants, or 40servants.com. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. If you go to tommykelly.com, which is TOMMIE, you can get to my Patreon, which you can, if you sign up for that, you can find out more about the 40 Shadows, which this week we have started with the meditations, which this thing called the session, which is the actual journeying element to the 40 Shadows. We're starting on that. That has been posted this week, so if you want to in on that, now is a perfect time to get in on that. And that's it. If you like this podcast, tell all your friends about it. If you don't like this podcast, tell no one. If you could like, subscribe, share, send me flowers, just generally be nice. To me, if you hear my name, make sure that people are saying nice things about me, and correct them if they're not. And all those things that you do, or don't do any of those things, and just continue on with your life in whatever way suits you best. Okay, so good people of the internet, thank you again for listening to me, and for all your support and all your help and everything that you do. You're all wonderful, wonderful people, and I would be totally lost without you. So I will see you, I won't see you. I will talk to you all next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.